This is Film Don't Lie on A2D Radio. And as always, we are brought to you by Alonzi Travel, specializing in creating the vacation of your dreams at Disney, Universal, or wherever your heart calls you. Reach out to get a quote and start planning. My email is at the bottom, the ticker at the very bottom. So if you need it, it's there. Reach out to me. I'll plan your vacation. We are back with Film Don't Lie. Exciting episode today. I am so excited. We're not going to be breaking down any film, but we are, like I alluded to in last week's episode, we are going to we're going to do some tiered power rankings. But before we do that, we are going to break down the biggest trades of an active NFL trade deadline, which we don't usually see, but it was pretty crazy. So we're going to get to a lot of these trades, and then we'll see how it affects our power rankings. But tonight, it's your boy Chucks, it's Pete, Mr. OGP, and our guest over from Eagles Talk, our boy Robert Brinkman, aka Brinks. What's going on, man? How are you guys? How you feeling? The Eagles probably had like the best bye week ever in the history of NFL bye weeks because the rest of the division lost and the Packers lost and the Lions lost. So we now have the number one seed. So I'm assuming you guys are flying high. How are you?
I'm always flying high. I'm always flying high, Chucks. I don't get worked up like I used to, and I have that. I still have that reputation, but that's okay. But I really don't get worked up about this.
You've mellowed out ever since I started doing a show with you. You've really mellowed out a ton, and I'm like, it impresses me. I'm like, Brinks isn't as overreactionary as he used to be. It's like he's turned over a new leaf. So
don't get it twisted though. Like it's in there. Like when it goes, and it goes bad.
It's still in there.
It's still in there somewhere. It's still in there somewhere. I love it. All right, well, gentlemen, we've got an action-packed show. Like I said, this show is probably going to go a little lengthy, hopefully not too long, but we definitely want to cover all this stuff because especially we had no Eagles talk with it being the bye week, so we want to cover all this major news in the NFL going on. So also, if I get a little bit distracted, it's also because I'm trying to multitask and watch the Flyers game, which is in overtime right now, about a minute and a half left before they go to the shootout. They gave up a 3-0 first period lead, which always happens in hockey. We talked about it before the show. Worst lead in hockey is 3-0 first period lead. It's always almost guaranteed to lose it. So watching the Flyers. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's open it up with our own Eagles because they kind of opened up the trade deadline with the news breaking early Monday morning. I remember I was getting Grayson ready for school and I'm walking up the stairs and I pick up my phone and there it is, trade. And I'm like, Howie, I haven't even had breakfast yet. Come on. So the trade, the Eagles get edge rusher / linebacker Jaelen Phillips from the Dolphins. And in it, as part of it, the Dolphins receive a 2026 third-round pick, which is the Eagles pick, not the Jets pick. That's important to understand. So the Jets pick is going to be an early third-rounder. So the Eagles pick, late third-rounder. So that's a big factor. So why don't you lead it off, Brinks, as our guest? Eagles receive Jaelen Phillips. What are your thoughts on the trade? You like it? Thumbs up, thumbs down? I don't know if you want to give it a grade again.
I mean, my overall reaction is Howie Roseman is just relentless. He's just absolutely relentless. I mean, he leaves no stone unturned. He leaves it impossible for podcast people like us, message board people, dial radio talk people to question his commitment to winning. He always pulls the trigger. As far as this goes, from what I understand, this is pretty much a no-risk trade because if Jaelen Phillips leaves the Eagles in the offseason, the Eagles are going to receive some sort of compensatory pick in return. Now, that won't be till 2027, but they already got enough 2026 picks. They only have so many draft picks. I mean, it's good to have them because they're gold at this time of year. But Jaelen Phillips, I mean, he's torn his Achilles and he's torn his ACL, so he's damaged goods. But he has performed his best under Vic Fangio. So the trade makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pete,
I agree. It was an area of need outside of Myles Garrett and Max Crosby or TJ Watt getting moved out of the pass rushers from the edge. I mean, maybe you could say Trey Henderson a little bit, maybe right now, short term, maybe slightly better. But to get familiarity with Vic already being the Vic system, former first round pick out of Florida State, 26 years old, man. And he's still in his first contract, going on to the second contract. This is the type of move that can kind of put the team over the top, especially on the defensive side. A lot of similar traits in body style, draft pedigree, and history to someone we let walk this past offseason, a la our son, Josh Sweat.
Our son, Josh Sweat, yes.
So,
yes.
Definitely a lanky body. Definitely brings a different set of skills to the defensive end room. And you gave up your pick. So the better of the 2 third-round picks that you did have, you didn't use for this particular trade. So kudos to Howie. I would just say that we kind of started this Saturday night with the Jair Alexander trade. And that's another I know you're not the biggest fan, but this is as far as what they gave up to if he can give you anything.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to be another upside trade as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't want to include because you had the Jair trade. You also had the Michael Carter trade before that. So like you had
which is sneaky good too.
Which like if you were to ask me like which one is going to be more impactful, I'd say the Michael Carter trade could be more impactful. But at the same time, I'm also not like the issue with that is that he's a slot corner, and I personally I prefer not to move Cooper outside. So I don't know what exactly the plan is. If I were to guess with Michael Carter is that he's here as another option. I think, and this is how I prefer it. I think the plan is to still see what Jacorian Bennett can do on the outside. If he can take that job as he comes back from off IR, see if he can be that outside guy. And if that doesn't work out, then they're going to start looking at options of getting getting Cooper DeJean on the outside in some instances, and then having Carter filling in the slot. So like it just gives you more options just in case it doesn't work out. That would be my best guess. With Jair, it hurts me to say it because I've been a big Jair Alexander fan since the draft. In that draft class, he was my CB1. So I've loved Jair Alexander since he came came into the league. But he's not what he was, and he's always hurt. And he was really bad in the 2 games he played for Baltimore this year. So like he comes in, and do I hope he could contribute? Sure, but I like the way I see it, he's just another Adoree, like a vet. And if you need him to play some snaps, sure. If he brings anything, cool. But I wouldn't bet on him getting that starting job, even though I would love to, and I'd love for him to prove me wrong because again, I'm a fan. I don't know how impactful that that acquisition is going to be. As far as the Jaelen Phillips trade, though, like I mentioned him as a guy that I would target. I think about like a few weeks ago, I had said like if the Dolphins are going to be in a fire sale or if they're going to be sellers, get Jaelen Phillips. I prefer him over Nick Chubb. Now, like he hasn't been the same guy since he got hurt. Especially early in the season, he wasn't, he really wasn't playing well. He has played better as of late. I talked to my friend on Twitter, Eagles Eric, a lot of times, and he gave like a quick like eval of him. Like with Phillips, he has an explosive get off. He has really good pursuit speed. He's really good rushing inside and using him on stunts and inside counters. So you could do a lot of stuff with him and Jaelen Carter. That'd be a lot of fun to see. He is a little bit of upright. His hand usage isn't great. His His speed to power isn't great. And again, like he doesn't really bend he doesn't have as much bend as a rusher um, now as he did pre-injury. So again, like he's not the same type of like when he came out before the injuries, he was like, he could be like a star edge rusher. With all the injuries he's had, can't really be that anymore. But he can still be really good. And obviously, he comes in. I definitely say he's the best edge rusher we have now on this roster. So it's a really good trade. There's you said like I know Brinks, you said like no risk. I think whenever you do involve a day 2 pick, there is some risk on it. So I'd say it's like a medium risk. I'd say that the risk is medium, and the thing is, it's worth it because the payoff for it could be really good. Like if he does really well for you this year and helps you get to the Super Bowl and repeat, of course it's a win. It's an amazing, turnaround. And then if he leaves the free agency, yeah, you get the future comp pick depending on what he gets. But if he doesn't play well, then yeah, that's an issue. So
I heard this today to where they said if he plays well and they offer him extension, does that mean they're not going to offer Nolan Smith an extension?
I don't think so. I think Nolan Smith is going to. I think that's why I think it's very unlikely they extend him. I do think he's a rental regardless because I think that like there's just you want to prioritize your in-house guys regardless, and I don't if Phillips plays well, which we hope he does. I just don't think we're going to have the finances to extend him. So I think the chances are slim. But I mean, if anyone can make it work, it's Howie. So right. Who knows? But yeah, Briggs, I don't know. What do you think is like the chances of the Eagles extending him?
Minimal.
Yeah.
He would have to really be a beast.
And be like a locker room like favorite where Vic is like, I can't get
right.
Yeah.
Something special would have to happen. Because, I mean, Howie, he knows what he's doing. He sees all the angles. Like, he said, all right, I have enough 2026 picks. All right, I'll take this guy for this, and you still have a third-round pick and the Jets pick, which is going to be the first or second pick probably in the third round. And then, you kick that can down the road to 2027. Because I suppose – I don't really know how compensatory picks work. I suppose like how much money he gets on the open market is based on
that goes into, and I'm mistaken. I was thinking of Jermaine Johnson out of Florida State. Jaelen Phillips came out of UCLA. But no, that the deal that he gets definitely does play into the comp formula.
Yeah.
So depending on, and that's the one thing I will say about the trade, not just for the fact of. From our side, is it worth it, right? But he knows just as well as we know. Like now he's on a team that has a bigger platform, that has Super Bowl aspirations. This is regardless of where he goes, if he stays with us, if whatever type of deal, if he balls out, he's going to make himself a lot of money. So he has just as much skin in the game as we do, right? He wants this to succeed, and he wants to put his best foot forward just as much as we do, because as an organization, because of the fact that he knows like this is it, like this is his biggest deal that he'll get. Like you can only cash these chips in this one time, and that's what he's going to be banking on.
Yep. Yeah. 100% agree. Any last final thoughts on Jaelen Phillips before we head to the next trade?
No.
Good. All right. So the next one we had was the first one of today that broke the news. Receiver help for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They get Jakobi Meyers, who's been wanting a trade since like before the season started. He's been asking for one. He gets his wish. He goes to the Jaguars. The Raiders receive a 2026 4th and 6th round pick. This at first glance you see this and you're like they need another receiver, but then you realize Travis Hunter's on IR and Brian Thomas Jr. is nursing, I believe it's a high ankle sprain. So the Jaguars being somewhat in that playoff mix, the wild card, or even like the division mix, the division title mix, they need reinforcements. So they get Jakobi Meyers. I get that, and I think it's a 4th and a 6th. it's a little rich for me, but I get it. So like you got to pay the price if you're that desperate. So I understand it. Now what happens once Travis Hunter and what's his face? Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas Jr. come back? Like, all right, so you got 3 really good receivers. Cool. I don't. How's that going to work? But I mean, I guess you can't have enough good receivers on the field. But Pete, your thoughts on this?
I think I echo your sentiment, right? I see the 4th and 6th round picks. I'm like for Jakobi Meyers, but that's indicative of the current landscape of that wide receiver room, and then where their season is headed. They want to make sure that they can get as far in the season as they can, and they see an opportunity to capitalize on a wild card position, if not the division crown. And I think you could have got it done for a 6. Kudos to Vegas for getting the extra compensation, the extra capital. I think it's a little bit of an overpay, but once again, it's what are you doing now compared to what are you going to try out there on the field? You know, you got Zay Jones. I think Zay Jones and De'Ami Brown.
And Parker Washington. Parker Washington would have been your number 1, and they still don't remember. They don't have Brenton Strange too. Their starting tight end, who was a key cog for that offense, and he's on my end. So like, yeah, they're hurting for talent. So I get it. Brinks, your thoughts?
Breath of fresh air when it comes to fantasy football. I mean, I got Jakobi Meyers for like $4 or $5 in my auction draft, and I thought I got a steal, and he's been nothing but a dud. And the Raiders stink. So, and the Jags, they've really taken control of the AFC South, which I'm sure we'll talk about later. So, hopefully, it works out for Jakobi Meyers fantasy owners.
Yeah,
I'm glad we recorded this show before I did my waiver claims for that league, because I've been so pissed off at this guy. I'm ready to drop him, but I guess I gotta give him
one more week.
You know, a couple more weeks.
Couple more weeks, yeah. Depending on how long Brian Thomas Jr. is out, or even if when he comes back, they still need 2 wide receivers. So I mean, yeah, he's going to be productive because the Jaguars have no choice. So yeah, that's the quick eval on that. All right, so after that trade, this was the big one. This is where everyone was like, oh. So the Jets start their fire sale. They send their corner, Sauce Gardner, who just received an extension, over to the Colts, and the Jets received a 2026 first-round pick, a 2027 first-round pick, and wide receiver Adonai Mitchell, A.D. Mitchell. P. Remember, we talked about him being in the doghouse. Well, they shipped him out. He was the odd man out, and he's out of there. He goes to the Jets for a change of scenery. I saw this and was floored because I don't think anyone expected this to happen, considering Sauce just signed that new deal. But like I know a lot of people I saw online were like, that's an overpay. That's an overpay. I don't think it's an overpay because the Colts they're trying to win now. Yep. They're one of the better teams in the AFC. We'll talk about them, I'm sure, in our power rankings. And they're trying to win. And they needed a corner. They didn't have, like, Travarius Ward is hurt. So they needed a corner they could rely on to be their CB1. So this really helps that defense short up. And Lou Anarumo is going to have a really, really, really good time. He gives them more flexibility to play a little bit more man coverage than they had before. And, this impacts that one side of the field. Now he doesn't have to worry about that. So Sauce hasn't been what he was before, but he hasn't been bad. And you would think that a change of scenery might help him. So, Pete, thoughts on this one?
If I'm the Jets, I would have asked for Anthony Richardson as well. Just, hey, might as well shoot your shot.
That's a good point.
You might as well shoot your shot. And I think the Colts probably would have entertained it because if they could have give up one first round pick, especially if it's a 2027, and you give up Anthony Richardson for Sauce Gardner. It's weird because Sauce is in New York. and I know obviously big primetime market. I haven't watched a lot of his games this year, but you get a young corner above average to elite who's already under control. You don't have to worry about signing him to a new contract. Like you stated, I think they're 7-2 now, if I'm not mistaken.
The Colts, I think they had 2 losses.
So they lost. They had the loss to the Rams and the loss to the Steelers this past weekend. So I don't know if they're 6-2 or 7-2. I want to say 7-2.
They are. They're still first in the AFC South. They are. Why can't I find their record? Hold on. Their record is 7-2.
Yeah, so they're probably one of the last ones on the bye. I love it for them. Lou Anarumo already showed you when he took that Bengals defense to the Super Bowl and beat the Chiefs. Like, this is a guy who's done a lot with less than elite talent across the board, just solid talent across the board. Now you give him something like this to where he has a tool that can be elite, right? And this is a re-energizing sauce. Definitely change the pace for him going to a team that's a contender. And then when Charvarius Ward comes back, I mean, that's a decent 1-2 combo as far as your cornerback. So definitely helps the secondary. 2 first-round picks you say it's a lot, but
I don't say it's a lot. I don't think it's too much.
He's a top 5 pick.
I think it's a lot.
I mean, for where they're at and the opportunity that they have, we talked about this on last week, 2 weeks ago. Like, are the Colts for real? We really don't know. We're looking at their schedule. And I said week 12, they play the Chiefs, right? And then I think they have another game where they play the Bills. And maybe if they had Sauce Gardner when they play the Steelers, who knows? It's in Pittsburgh, that may have made a difference. Now you feel better about this team playing the upper echelon of talent in the AFC conference and hopefully having, in their eyes, a legit shot to potentially take a deep playoff run and be playing in one of the last four teams in 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. This helps them do that. And I don't know what first round pick in 2026 or 2027 that would have given them that, and then also with the control, because this isn't unlike Jaelen Phillips, this isn't a rental. Like, he's going to be a part of their future and the cornerstone of their defense moving
4 years.
forward.
4 years after the third,
So when you take that into an account, would I've rather been more comfortable giving up 1 first round pick versus 2? Obviously, you want to feel like you're getting a deal. But when you look at it like that, where you have a top 3, top 4 corner in the league under the age of 30, and they already are under contract, you couldn't get that without taking a huge risk on either one of these picks. So you went and got the sure thing. So,
yeah, absolutely. Brinks, you said you think it's
I don't know. Like, obviously, this guy, I think it was the 4th pick in the draft when he came out. Mm-hmm. Obviously, corner is a really hard position to play, but his better years were in his first 2 seasons, and then he kind of dipped off. Now, did he dip off because the Jets suck and he's disinterested? Now he's going to be reinvigorated because he's on a good team? I don't know, but I don't know. A guy who checks out because he's on a bad team strikes me as not a professional, and I would not give up 2 first-round picks for that.
With that being said, I'm still shocked that the Colts still have one of those guys that you just talked about still on their roster, and Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, but nobody wants him. The Jets probably even the Jets probably laugh at him. Anthony Richardson stinks, dude. He stinks. He wasn't even good at Florida, and the Colts picked him 3rd in the draft.
He was drafted. He is on the track right now to be the Mike Mamula of QB draft prospects.
Yeah, what's crazy though, like his first few games of his rookie year, he was pretty good.
He's pretty good.
He got off to a good start before getting hurt, and then after that, it was just like,
yeah, it's been the same.
I don't know where that went, but I mean, with Sauce, I'll say this because I did. There are his next gen stats. were are out there, and people have been highlighting them to see exactly how he's dropped off. And this season he's surrendering a completion percentage of 11.1% over expectation, and a passer rating of 118.8 when targeted. So that's not good, but in terms of actual coverage, he's still forcing tight windows. The 61.9% of his targets are tight windows. So the bulk of his coverages and they're still he's still right there. And the flaws with him, I'm sure everyone knows, he's a very physical and grabby receiver, so he's gonna draw penalties, but he's still a really good corner. And if you're the Colts trying to capitalize on this window, I understand it. I definitely understand it. So I have no problem with the trade. I get it from their side. I want to save the Jets angle for after we touch on the other trade they made. So we'll hold off on the Jets angle. Let's go over to my favorite trade of the day, which was wide receiver Rashid Shaheed of the Saints being traded to the Seahawks, which was a surprise because I did not expect them to get him. But he goes to the Seahawks, and the Saints in return receive a 2026 4th and 5th round pick. So 4th and 5th round picks. So I could have sworn. I swore that if he was going to get traded, it would have been to the Patriots or the Bills. Did not expect the Seahawks. I love this trade. I think what this does is it gives the Seahawks a legitimate wide receiver too. I love Torrey Horton. So I get that, but I think now you have the ability as the Seahawks to go more 11 personnel. And I mean, with Shaheed and his speed, it gives you another threat when you're understanding and you're running those play action stuff to really have another defense off of that, to build off of that. But then, with the Seahawks, they really kind of were they rely on a lot of 12 personnel, heavy packages, and rely on the defense showing base defense. But when the other opposing defenses are in sub packages and the Seahawks go to 11, they're really not threatening that way. Defenses don't really threaten them. And a neat stat that I saw is that they in 11 personnel, they face a light box at a below average rate. So in 11 personnel, the defenses are stacking the box against them, and that's affecting the running game. But now if you go 11 personnel and you have JSN, you have Rashid Shaheed, and you have Torrey Horton, the defense can't really go and stack the box as often.
Right.
So that should help their running game, which hasn't been great. So I think this is a great trade for the Seahawks. A 4th and a 5th is not a lot for the caliber of receiver Rashid Shaheed. So I love this trade. Brinks, what's your reaction though to Shaheed going to the Seahawks?
Seahawks are loaded, man. They're loading up.
They are.
I mean, I know we're talking about Rashid Shaheed right now, but JSN is on pace for 123 catches, over 2,000 yards receiving, and 9 touchdowns.
Yep.
So you got the alpha on the outside, inside, outside. That guy can do it all. He's welcome to the party, JSN. Now you got Horton. He had 2 touchdowns on Sunday night. Now you just supplement that. I mean, you think of Seattle, you think of not dynamic, Sam Darnold. Now you got JSN, Shaheed, Horton, 2 good running backs, a good defense. They're loading up. They went for it. I did think the Jakobi Meyers trade was an overpay for the Jaguars. I don't think this is an overpay at all for the Seattle Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately when I looked at this trade, I was like, all right, that's their young Tyler Lockett. How Tyler Lockett used to really stretch the field.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's what he does. So that adds a different element to the game. So the other person that benefits is once they get healthy is going to be Cooper Kupp. Now all that underneath and those routes, those crosser routes that he's been so accustomed to running when he was with the Rams. Now this makes that a little bit easier because the spacing is going to be better now for them. The spacing is going to be better now for K9. The space is going to be better for Charbonnet, and the space is going to be better for Sam Darnold. Very smart move for them to make this move. I don't know what his contract situation is, but this once again, this also feels like this is a move not just for this year, for the remaining 9 or 8 games that they have left, but also for next season at least as well.
Yeah, I think they might know something about Cooper Kupp's injury.
Good.
That maybe the general public does not know. Because they gave Cooper Kupp some money in the offseason.
What's his injury? I know he's always had a problem with his ankles when he was with LA.
He's got I think it said hamstring. He was out for a hamstring. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with that?
Yeah, I'm trying to look. It doesn't say. Yeah, but I mean, like he didn't really have much of an impact so far with the Seahawks. That's why, like, I do think Horton should be the wide receiver 3 for them. Kupp you can sprinkle in because Kupp can still block. So I mean, like you can on certain packages and certain sets you can have him come in and still contribute. But I think in terms of being an actual weapon, Horton is and should be the guy over him. So I really think that it just makes them even more dynamic, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see how they do this. And they think about Clint Kubiak, guys, and how Clint Kubiak was with the Saints, and remember what Shaheed did with Clint Kubiak.
Yep.
There, that's where Shaheed really broke out. So awesome marriage here. This again, my favorite trade of the trade deadline. Outside, obviously, with the Eagles, but I mean, this is going to be a lot of fun to see for the Seahawks. So let's get to the final trade, and I'm sure we have a lot to say about this one. The Cowboys, as Jerry Jones said yesterday, he said that he talked and he couldn't help himself. He alluded to a big trade, and it was a big trade. So the Cowboys, they receive Quinnen Williams, defensive tackle, interior defensive lineman, Quinnen Williams from the Jets, and the Jets receive 2026 second round pick, 2027 first round pick, the higher of the pick, whichever of the two, and then defensive tackle Mozzie Smith. Pete, I'll let you start this one off.
So they also made a more sensible trade when they traded for Logan Wilson. I think they traded like a 7th or a 6th for Logan Wilson, linebacker out of Cincinnati. That's okay. That's a value for trade.
He was benched. He was getting benched on the
right. He wasn't really. But I mean, for the Cowboys, all right. You didn't stake a lot like how we look at Jaelen Phillips, right? Obviously, 2 different things, but it's like kind of low risk. Maybe you can get something out of a high reward. This here is just like Quinnen is a great player. It's a great player, but it's mind-boggling because of what led you to this point, right? I love it from the Jets side especially when you encompass what they got from the Colts. Like, I mean, they drafted well. They couldn't put a team together. Now they have more proverbial bullets in the chamber to kind of go at it. And I think Quinnen, did he just sign an extension too?
Not just. He signed one, was it a year or 2 ago?
A couple years ago. I think it was 2 years ago.
This is just like, hey, Jerry, you wanted this. You had an impactful player on your team already from the defensive side that probably was more explosive than Quinnen Williams.
Probably.
You decided not to pay the man. So, like, you're only in this position because of your own stubbornness.
His own ego.
You're trying to save face.
His own ego.
I did not have it on my bingo card, and we'll get into this when we talk about the rankings. I did not have it in my bingo card for the Cardinals to kind of manhandle with Jakobi Brissett, the manhandle Cowboys on Monday Night Football in Dallas.
That's what happens. That's what happens when your defense is that bad. Defense is that bad. Get this. We talked about the just the Micah factor and then like It's so counterintuitive. Brinks, after this, you can give your 2 cents. But Greg Rosenthal tweeted this out. Cowboys essentially traded Micah and Mozzie Smith for Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark, and to move back 15 to 20 spots in the 2026 first round. So you traded away the better player for a downgrade. Still a great player, but Quinnen Williams is not Micah Parsons, and you moved back. That's the net result of everything. You moved back in the 2026 first round.
From an asset that you already had.
Yeah, so it's backwards. So, but Brinks, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, F minuses for both Cowboys trades. I mean, the other trade, I don't care how much you gave up. Like you're trying to improve your defense with a linebacker who got benched on the only defense in the league that's worse than yours. So, good one, Jerry.
Valid points.
You really you got the insider on that one, I guess, because I don't get it. And Quinnen Williams, I mean, what is he? He came out of Alabama or Georgia. I think it was Alabama.
Alabama.
And he's another guy like Sauce Gardner, like hits the ground running when they're like he was really good. Then he signed his extension, and now he's a fat cat. So now you're giving up 2 premium draft picks. Mozzie Smith, I believe he was a first-round pick. If he wasn't a first-round pick, late first-round pick for the Dallas Cowboys out of Michigan. So, like, I don't get it. Like, you give up an edge rusher, which is a premium position, and you're obsessed with accumulating D tackles.
Yeah.
Like, I hope the guy lives forever. I hope the guy lives forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have ESPN right now, so I did because these streaming services, they're a bunch of they're a bunch of scumbags. They're a bunch of scumbags. But yeah, I did this when I was supposed to be watching the Dallas-Arizona game. I did my thing here, and I saw the trades today, and I didn't bump Dallas down a tier, but I bumped them down almost a tier.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Where is Stephen Jones? When Stephen Jones was making the draft picks for that team, they were making at least competent decisions. Now Jerry's back in charge, it seems, and
it's almost like he traded.
He just does stuff. He just does stuff.
Yeah.
Like
he just does stuff.
Like,
it's like he walked in.
I feel like he doesn't even talk. I feel like Steven finds out about the trades when we do, and he calls his dad like, "Why did you do that?" Like,
it's almost like when you walk in your kitchen, it's like, maybe I just want a new coffee maker, right? And just for the sake of wanting one, but for Jerry, that's trading players. I just want. There's no rhyme or reason. You trading and you just trading the trade, and I kind of get it, but like these are the trades that you should have made 2 weeks ago. Like
it's like when the females they want to redecorate when it's fine. Like we're good.
Right.
Like everything's here. Like we got everything. It's kind of new. I know it's not brand new, but like we're good. Like we're just gonna add some paint here, maybe a carpet there, and we'll be good. Not tear down the whole thing and start all over.
Right.
Like, no.
It's crazy. I don't
just move if you want to do that.
It's crazy. It's just they essentially they're paying now. They're paying Quinnen the similar financials that they would have paid Micah anyway. Maybe not the same exact, but I mean, like, it just you're going around in circles, and the end result is worse than where you were before, all because of ego. It's absolutely it's mind-boggling the thought process that Jerry Jones has. But I mean, hey, is what it is. Now, except before we wrap up our trade deadline recap and reactions, we have to talk about the Jets side. So they get these picks from both trades, and I think I have it here what the accumulation of all of them is.
They have 2 first-round picks in 2026, 2 second-round in 2026, and then 2 first rounds in 2027.
Three first rounds in
3 first rounds in 2027.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter what they have; they're going to screw it up.
Well, I mean, they didn't screw it up with Sauce and what's his face. So I mean, they made the good.
They didn't screw it up. I mean, they're
hold on.
They stink.
Well, the picks themselves. When they took Sauce and they took Garrett Wilson, those players turned out really good. So the picks themselves were fine, and that was also like the previous regime. So this is a new regime. I was talking to my friend who's a big Jets fan about it, and like I'm trying to talk him off the ledge a little bit and I told him like I understand after years and years and years of misery, I get it. I understand why you're skeptical, but like let's take a step back and look at this. If these defensive players were not producing the same way in years prior with this regime, you trade them away and you get the haul that you did. Now you are loaded with draft assets to rebuild, right? I understand it. I don't, again, it remains to be seen whether they're going to mess those picks up or not. Like it absolutely remains to be seen. But from a process standpoint, if you're looking to rebuild like that, I think this is a good haul for the Jets. They are now. Also keep in mind they could be positioning themselves to move up to get a quarterback either this year or the year after. Or and even like they might even try to get Jeremiah Smith, the wide receiver who's going to come out in 2027. So I mean, they are positioning themselves well for the future, and it sucks letting go of Sauce and Quinnen, but the return they got was good. I think it was a good return, and I think they want to rebuild. So far, I think I get it. I see the vision here. But Pete, like, well, what do you think? Like, did you of the Jets?
I had kind of hit on it first when I was evaluating this trade. Like, the players were right. The execution after you had the talent was flawed. It's like one of those things. Okay, you got this right, and at least you have assets that you can turn into something else and try again. Yeah. Right. And because there are teams out there who have contributed top 10 picks, a la Anthony Richardson, and they don't have any value around the league. Right. So at least these guys that you have value. And also the other side of this coin is you get this money off your books. So this doesn't free you up from a draft capital perspective, but this frees you up from a free agency perspective. Now you just have to rebuild it. You got another chance, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Don't fuck it up this time.
Yep, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And you have 2 teams in your division who are battled out for first place. Like, so we've always said, and I'm a big proponent of this: rip the Band-Aid off. Let's not tread water here. Let's not live in purgatory here, which they could have done. And they said, okay, well, we'll just, hey, we drafted you. We thought you guys were going to be homegrown guys. We failed you. Here goes a chance for a better opportunity. And then we can try again. I love it.
They want to get the timing right. And I will say, though, the only thing I didn't agree with was that, the Bulls came back and beat the Sixers. Jeez.
Wow.
By 2.
Anyway. Another team that can never get it right.
Well, I mean, Maxi's awesome to say, but we'll see again. But anyways, the one thing I did disagree with is if they're going to go this route, they should have just traded Breece Hall. I don't understand the mindset of keeping on to him when he's going to be a free agent. Trade him. You would have gotten something. So I don't get it. And Breece wanted to be traded. He kept saying it, and he's still in New York. So I don't understand. Keeping Garrett Wilson, I get, because wide receivers obviously they last a long time. So Garrett Wilson can be here for your rebuild and still be an elite receiver. So I understand hang on to him. But Breece Hall, like, are you going to pay him? Are you going to pay Breece Hall? It doesn't seem like it. So why not just trade him? So that part I didn't agree with. They should have traded him. But other than that, yeah, I think they're good here. Any final thoughts on the Jets?
No, we've spent way too much of this episode talking about the fucking Jets.
The Jets.
Can anybody look me in the face out there, either you two or someone in the comments that has confidence that the Jets are going to dominate this rebuild and be a winner someday?
No, but it's a good start.
I don't.
No, I don't. I'm sure a lot of Jets fans, at least the ones that I'm friends with, they agree with you. They have no confidence that they're going to get this right. But, as people that don't have stake in that game, so far so good for them. So I get it from that. All right. So that's the trade deadline recap. Now let's get to the big picture in terms of the league. All right. Now let's get into our power rankings. If you're listening in, we're going to power rank all 32 NFL teams, but we're going to tier them. We're not going to just go linear and go 1 to 32. Like every other site does. Let's make this interesting. And I'm not gonna lie, I got this idea from the Athletic Football podcast, which they did the similar tiers, and I was like, this is a great idea because tiering them off, you can see where things are. I also ranked them within the tier. If you guys didn't, that's fine. But I'm excited to see where you guys have these teams and certain tiers, especially the first 3 tiers. So our first tier. We're going to kick it off with the top of the list, obviously. Tier 1 is Super Bowl or bust. So these are the teams. The way I looked at it, I approached it is these are the contenders. These are the true teams that can win the Super Bowl this year, that have a legitimate, the best chances out of all teams to win the Super Bowl this year. All right. So Brings, why don't you start it off then? How many teams you have, and then go ahead and list the teams in this tier.
Okay. I have 8 teams, and I have a 1 through 32 list like you do. So I have 8 teams in this Super Bowl or bust list.
Okay, cool. What are the teams?
You want me to rattle them off?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think Denver's the best team in the league.
Whoa! What?
They're my number. I mean, they have everything you want. They have a Super Bowl winning coach. They have a playmaking quarterback. He needs to get a little better pure throwing the football, but I think that'll come. Josh Allen's not a pure thrower of the football. He's doing just fine. Basically, the only reason I have number 2 and not number 1 is because a couple weeks ago, the Denver Broncos came into the Lincoln Financial Field, and they beat the Philadelphia Eagles. So I have the Eagles number 2. As the clear and away after what happened this weekend, top team in the NFC. Number 3, Buffalo.
Okay.
They Chiefs yesterday. That's a good win. I mean, they really just lost a touch and go game at home against the Patriots, who are a good team. I can't recall their second loss right now. I feel like it was a bad one though.
Who was the second?
Don't know.
Loss?
Anyway, they have Buffalo. They have 2 losses. I know they lost to New England.
The one loss was against the Falcons.
Right, they got
Jekyll. Talk about a Jekyll and Hyde team, but go ahead.
Yeah, but number 4, I don't care that they lost yesterday. I have the Lions, number 4, the second best team in the NFC. Mm-hmm. Number 5, I don't care that they lost to the Bills yesterday. I have the Chiefs, number 5. Seattle's here. They're in this conversation for sure.
I'm happy with that. Yeah.
I have them slightly over the Rams, who are number 7. They still have to play twice, though, and they're both really good teams, so that'll work itself out. And then my 8th team, this is probably going to meet some resistance, but I think the Ravens are going to win the North, and I think the Ravens are going to be a tough out.
In that Gilman trade that they made, the safety they acquired from the Chargers is going to free up Kyle Hamilton to get back to his natural position. So the defense should start to be a little tighter on the back end. In addition with subtraction for Jair Alexander. So I'm not too mad at it. I like trying to think of, because I didn't tier them as far as like a number list, 1 overall. I like that 8 as far as Super Bowl bust. I would also probably put I would add to that and put the Packers in there because of the trade they made for Micah Parsons. When you make a trade like that and you give up that much capital, you're not doing that for the sake of, okay, yeah, we want to win a division. Like, you have Super Bowl aspirations at that point. Yeah. So I would just add that, but I'm cool with that 9. Power ranking them wise, if I'm doing it, like, I probably would still put the Eagles 1. I just think Denver caught them slipping at a bad time. I think if they played each other now, I'd probably take the Eagles minus 5.5. And I would feel comfortable about that. Yeah. And then at 2, that's tough, man, because I need to see Denver play the Chiefs. The Chiefs are starting to come around. It's really a week-to-week matchup because, like Chuck just said with Jekyll and Hyde, like, we had Atlanta look like it was a real team, and then they haven't done shit since. Nowhere near the top. But I would say I'll probably put Buffalo 2.
Okay.
Denver 4. This is going to sound crazy, but I've been saying this all year. My MVP candidate, if I'm giving one right now, is Indiana Jones, man. Now, especially with the Sauce Gardner trade, I got to put the Colts in the top 5. Got to. Because they got an offense. Shane Steichen is a mad scientist. They can put up points, and now you got tougher on defense. Yeah, I mean, I gotta put them. I gotta put them up there. I gotta put them up there. So it's like I got Eagles 1, Bills 2, Colts 3. I go Chiefs 5, Broncos 4.
Okay, all right.
Lions 6.
Okay.
Packers are somewhere in there in that 9-10 range.
Okay.
Seahawks is in there towards the back half of that. But Seahawks, I think Seahawks probably have the most potential to jump up to the top 5.
Yeah.
I said, and quiet as kept, I said, like, this, I think one of the most intriguing races so far, as far as the seasonal races, throughout the first 9 weeks of the season, is you probably have 4 or 5 candidates for Coach of the Year, strong candidates for Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean? Steichen, McDaniel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Steichen, McDaniel.
They lead the charge.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, you got to put the Rams in there. The Rams is always tough, but I feel like the Rams always find a way to get themselves.
Yeah.
They always shoot themselves in the foot.
Matt Stafford is balling out. So he's as long as he stays healthy, he's gonna ball out. All right. So the 8 I have 8. Okay. I have pretty much the guys the teams you listed. I'll rattle off the order I have, but I will say this. I vehemently disagree with you guys on the Broncos. I do not have them in this tier. I do not think they are in the same tier as the rest of the guys. That defense is awesome. One of the tops in the league, 100%. So if there's a flaw in my argument, it's because the defense can carry the team. But that also goes to my argument is that defense is going to have to be the reason because that offense is not good. The offense is not good. Bo Nix is not good. Like he was
deep.
He was let me. Did you realize? I forget who they played just now.
The Texans.
Yeah. So on his deep passes over 20 yards, he completed 2. And I think he was like 2 of 10 or something like that. And this is a constant theme. He has been absolutely horrendous throwing the deep ball. Absolutely horrendous throwing the deep ball this season. He's not saying it well. And like this Broncos offense, the run game is like average. And it consists of either screens, shallow passes near the line of scrimmage, or just deep balls. Which again, the deep balls, Bo Nix cannot complete. So like the passing attack is so like just not efficient at all. So I don't have him in this team. I am not a Bo Nix believer. Sean Payton, he's a Super Bowl winning coach, but I don't know how he truly views his quarterback because he says his quarterback was the best quarterback prospect in that draft class, but then the way he calls his offense doesn't make it seem like he is the best quarterback in the draft class. Like it's like he's calling plays to mask what Bo Nix does. So I adamantly disagree with having the Broncos that high. I have them in the second tier. But the way I have the first tier ranked, I have the Eagles at 1. I think with the way they played the past 2 weeks, and how the rest of the teams kind of unfolded in week 9, they are still the team to beat. Number 2, I actually have the Chiefs. Did they lose to the Bills? Yes. Does this happen every single year the past 4 years? Yes, and that's why I think it's irrelevant. They lose to the Bills every regular season, and they still find a way to beat them in the playoffs. So until that changes, and before that happened, that offense was really clicking. There were Mahomes was playing otherworldly again. The receivers were starting to hit their stride. The only weakness was their run game, but they don't need a run game. So I still put the Chiefs by a little bit over the Bills. So Bills are at 3. Colts I have at 4 because I think very highly of the Colts. I think against the Steelers it was just a bad day. The Steelers do this to everyone. We all know the Steelers will play up to their competition and they'll play down to their competition. So it shouldn't be surprising that they beat the Colts, but I still think the Colts are legit. 5, I have the Seahawks. After this trade, I'm Seahawks are top 5 for me. Just barely all over the Rams. Rams I have at 6. Lions I have at 7. And then 8 to finish off the tier. And there are 4 teams that I have question marks on my list, as in I really do not know for certain where I want to put them. The Packers are that. The reason why I'm questioning and Pete, since week 1, I was the Packers to me are the NFC North favorite. Losing Tucker Kraft was massive. Now that Tucker Kraft is lost for the season, that is a massive blow. So as much as I still like that team's roster, I don't know how they're going to cope with the loss of their most important skill position player. Absolutely, their most important, at least on the offensive side. Tucker Kraft was establishing himself as an elite tight end, and losing him is massive. So I wanted to drop them to tier 2, but for now, I'll keep them in tier 1. But that's a big blow. That's a big blow. So that's my tier 1. Let's go to tier 2. Playoff caliber teams. I have 5 in here. Pete, let's start off with you though. How many do you have in tier 2?
Tier 2 playoff caliber teams, I would probably say, because man, NFC West I took 2. NFC North I took 2. All right, so playoff caliber teams, let's say 4 or 5. If you can't tell people when you watch this, I'm doing this on the fly.
You go so on the fly. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts that you do all the assignments we do. You do on the fly.
I would say towards the top of this tier is probably Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yeah. Okay.
Tampa Bay is at the top of this tier. I would probably throw Jacksonville Jaguars in here as well. New England Patriots. That's 3. Sneakily playoff caliber based off record and how they've been playing lately. I might have to go Chicago Bears as well. I mean, I think they're 5-2 or 5-2 now, if I'm not mistaken.
5-3.
5-3.
5-3.
Okay. So what's that 4? I'm trying to just think around the league real quick. Could you put this? Could I put the Steelers in there based off of record? I would say yeah, but they may fit another category that you also cleverly came up with. I'm not a believer in the 49ers that they can maintain it long term.
Yeah.
Okay. Chargers.
Okay.
That would be my 5.
Yeah, 5.
Was there any news on Joe Alt that I missed?
He's done for the year, but they traded for Trevor Penning.
Yeah, they got Penning from the Saints.
Okay, all due respect to Trevor Penning.
I know. Yeah,
Joe Alt is a monster. They're a totally different team with Joe Alt.
Yeah. Yep. That's Brinks, who is your tier 2?
I have 5 as well.
Okay.
Hit the nail on the head with Tampa as the head of this tier.
Mm-hmm.
That's my 9. My 10 is the Patriots. I said on this show at the beginning of the season that Caleb needed to show me, and he's showing me. And Ben Johnson was a fantastic hire.
Yes.
Because he's not trying to fit the square peg in the round hole with this football team, and they have an identity. They play defense. They run the football.
Mm-hmm.
They're just letting Caleb be a playmaker. So they're 11. I think the Bears are – I think they're going to be – I think they're even more of a lock than the Packers with the Tucker Kraft injury to make the playoffs in the NFC. 12, I have the Colts. Need to see how the Colts respond to getting hit in the mouth before I put them in my Super Bowl tier or any higher than number 12 in the league. And number 13, I'm out on Green Bay. I'm out. I have 13th. That's really as low as I could put them with maintaining the credibility of this exercise. There's nothing dynamic about the Green Bay Packers.
I agree. Remember when I said Super Bowl bust based on the moves that they made? That's
I get
what they
that,
aspire to be, but what you see is not that. I agree. I would place them more where you have them at, because my biggest thing was I'm not a believer in Jordan Love consistently performing at a high level. And now you struggle to score points in some cases with Tucker Kraft, and now you take that away. So now if I'm a defensive coordinator and I'm prepping for the Green Bay Packers, what fear do I have?
So I will, again, I think that the Packers, I wouldn't blame anyone to put them in tier 2 post Tucker Kraft thing, and their loss to the inexcusable loss to the
Panthers is tough, man, and they got blown out the week before by Buffalo.
Yeah, so the inexcusable loss to the Panthers, I'm not defending at all. Mm-hmm. What I will defend for a second is that before that, Jordan Love was balling. Jordan Love was playing well. I personally don't understand the people that want to stick to the narrative Jordan Love is inconsistent. If they've been watching just specifically for this year, he was playing very, very well before the Panthers game, and he played very bad against the Panthers. But he also wasn't the only one playing bad. That was a horrible called game by Matt LaFleur. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what the game plan was, why it was that. So it was a bad game all around for that offense. And the frustrating thing about the Packers is that I understand frustrations because they have, I don't know what it is, they have talent. And people see it. I wish people would pay closer attention. They have talent. It's just that they make things harder on themselves for some weird reason, whether it's play calling, whether it's Jordan Love having one or two plays where it's why are you doing that? But then looking really good the rest of the game, whether it's the offensive line just crapping the bed, even though they're a good offensive line. I don't, there's the wide receivers dropping balls. They have.
That's the key word. That's the key word with them, Chucks, is it's good. They're good across the board.
They're good
There's
across
not
the
a
board.
damn thing. There's not a damn thing on that offense, including their quarterback, that keeps defensive coordinators up at night.
It was Tucker Kraft.
Nothing.
It was Tucker Kraft. It was Tucker Kraft.
It was, but I mean that's still a tight end, and it was still Tucker Kraft.
Yeah.
I like Tucker Kraft. He's a good player, but
he was elite.
He's not Antonio Gates. He's not Tony.
He was no. I am gonna push back on that this year. If you see him, go Briggs. You have to watch something. Tucker Kraft was he was playing prime George Kittle. He was unstoppable as a tight end. He was.
It doesn't matter how he was playing. He's not playing anymore.
I'm just saying. Before this, this is why tier 2 is fine. This is why I said I don't know. The Packers were in limbo for me because I think losing Tucker Kraft is the deal breaker for them. But I'm saying before this, they did have good things about them that warranted them being in tier 1. Now I'm not so sure. So like I'm just saying, I'm just defending what they were doing up in this point. That's it. But moving forward, yeah, you guys want to put them in tier 2. I think I'm close to doing that as well. I just wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt before I do so, because like they just lost Tucker Craft. We'll see how they do against us and moving forward. But like it sucks. It sucks. I don't think Jordan Love was playing as bad as a lot of people assume he was. He was playing very well, but it just sucks moving forward. They're not going to have their best weapon, and they are incredibly frustrating. I get that. They're incredibly frustrating to watch. So that's that. You had I for my 5, I had 5 in here. 9 is the Bucks. We all agreed on that. 10 Patriots. Me and you, Brinks, agreed on that. 11, yeah. I have Chargers, but again, I don't know if I want to drop them with here with Joe Alt now being gone. But I like that team so much, so and I think Justin Herbert is really, really good and having a great season so far. So I'll keep them in this as the number 11. 12, this is where I have the Broncos, and then 13. This is my second team where I'm like iffy on where to put them. I have the Ravens because, as bad as they looked, they're kind of trending up, and that division is still now kind of wide open because the Steelers are just, the Steelers are the Steelers. So the Ravens could make a run here, so I want to keep them alive. So I'll keep them in the second tier, playoff caliber. So that's my 5. Let's go now to the next one, tier 3. These are the wild card hopefuls. This is going to be interesting because I don't know how this is going to go. But Brinks, start us off. Who do you have?
This is a big tier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now there's 8, same as the Super Bowl tier. So 4.
Wow, you have a lot. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, hopefuls is the key word here. I think. Like, I don't expect any of these teams, if they make the playoffs as a wild card team, to make any type of noise in the NFL playoffs as of now. So 14, I have the Steelers. The Steelers can't run the ball, and it's about to get cold and snowy in Pittsburgh. That's not a good mix. 15, I have the Niners. They're super injured. 16, I have the Jaguars. I keep waiting for the Jaguars to come back to earth, but they keep winning games.
For some reason.
17, I have the Chargers. I think they're pretty much cooked without Joe Alt. They're totally different. I mean, they obliterated the Minnesota Vikings in Joe Alt's return. Obliterated them.
Yeah.
And now he's gone.
Now he's gone, yeah.
18, this was a tough team to tier, but I think I got it right with the wild card hopefuls, because if J.J. McCarthy plays like he did yesterday, I mean, they might have something going here in Minnesota at number 18. 19, they're probably not going to make it, but they are 5-4, and they just won a big road game in Green Bay. That's the Panthers. 20, I guess the Cowboys could get hot offensively.
Really?
Maybe it'll work with these trades. And number 21, I have the Texans. I think there's going to be some bad teams that make the playoffs in the AFC.
Yeah. The AFC is top heavy, but then after that, like the top.
After that, I mean, that was generous with the 21 with the Texans, because I do believe in D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah,
and I do believe in CJ Stroud, but their defense is elite. But I don't understand how their offense with CJ Stroud is like watching paint dry.
It's because it's offensive line. The offensive line is horrible. Like they cannot run. They cannot convert a 3rd and 1. Like anything short yardage, they cannot convert. That's a testament to the offensive line. It's in shambles. It's so bad. That's why they have I don't know why.
I mean, like I double dipped on there. Like I have Texans backfield on like all my fantasy teams with Nick Chubb and Woody Marks. I figured like if one gets hurt, I'll just put the other one in there. I play Woody Marks all the time because he catches the ball, but they're getting 4 or 5 points a week. Like
because the offensive line
is crazy. And like you have a alpha receiver in Nico Collins, like, and they still can't make it work. They play the Jaguars this weekend. I think if they lose to the Jaguars, they're going to be in one of these other tiers.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got to start. You got to start winning games if you want to be a wild card. Overall.
They have to start winning.
You got to start winning games at some point.
100%. 100%. Pete, tier 3.
So wild card hopefuls.
Mr. On the Fly. Jesus Christ.
I mean, I really only going to give you. I'll say Dallas.
You guys have Dallas high. Jesus Christ.
Just because the offense, once again, we're talking about wild card hopefuls.
Yeah, but I'm not going to put
it's not a lock that they're making anything, but the wild card could be 9-8, 10-7. I mean, but they got to run off a little bit of. They got to go on a little bit of a run. Carolina's a wild card hopeful. The defense travels, man. The defense travels. I mean, and Dave Canales, shout out to him. And one thing that also travels outside of a defense, what's the other thing we always say? Running the football. Them some bitches can run the daggone football.
They can, yeah.
They can run the football. I think I probably would be more inclined to put Pittsburgh in this tier, San Fran in this tier.
Mm-hmm. We did too.
As well. Jacksonville is probably fringe in this tier. I thought they were 6-3, not 5-3, so that's on me. I will put Minnesota in this tier as well, sitting at 4-4. They have a lot of talent on offense. Defensive system is sound. Quarterback play has been their downfall. Like Carson started off all right, and then he got hurt, and then Carson was going Carson. Wentz is going to Wentz. So, damn, their defense is just so bad. I kind of want to put Cincinnati in here, but their defense is just so bad.
So bad.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. It's really, really bad.
I mean, based off record, you would say Baltimore is a hopeful, but obviously their level of play and their roster is above that, right? So
I have them in tier 2 because I think
exactly
they're going to go on a run. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, that's it, man. Like these teams are just being 2 games under 500 this far, and so many other. Like, yeah, no, the math just doesn't work. The math just doesn't work.
Well, so my tier 3, I have 14. I have Steelers, 15. I have 49ers, 16. I have Texans, 17. I have the Falcons. Which, God, like if there was ever a Jekyll and Hyde team, it's the Falcons. Super frustrating. 18. I was gonna put them in the next tier, but what the heck? I put the Bears here as a wild card hopeful. Because 5-3. Okay. I think the things are looking up. And then the last one, I have 19. I have the Jaguars. So I have 19 teams through 3 tiers going through. All right. So this is where I am excited about this tier because I think the way you look at it could tell a lot. So tier 4, we have bad teams but good vibes. So the team is bad, but like you can be happy about them. I'll start this off.
One team that's screaming at this tier.
I will start this off. I have 3 teams in here.
Okay.
But 2 of the teams, they're kind of late additions, and I don't know for sure if I should have put them here or wild card hopefuls. But I put them in here just so I could talk about them. But the first team I put the Panthers here. I still think overall they're a bad team. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but I think the vibes are good. I think like they're playing above their talent. Would you
consider over 500 a bad team?
I think they've won some surprising games, but I don't think it's going to last.
So let's ask, do you think they're going to finish? So do you think they're going to finish over 500?
I don't think so. I don't know. But I don't think they're going to make the. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. Okay. That's my point. Yeah. So bad team, good vibes. Like when I say bad teams, I don't mean like they're horrific.
Okay.
I have for that last. In just a preview for the last tier, which is mock draft time, I have 7 teams in there. So, like, this is what I'm saying. I don't think the Panthers are that caliber of bad. All right, and I think right now they have a lot of positive things going for them. So they are at the top of tier 4 for me. Then I have the Vikings because they would have been in my tier 5 of bad teams, bad vibes until they broke off this win against the Lions. And I'm just like, okay, so JJ McCarthy, even though he's flawed, he has now had 2 wins in the division under his belt as a starting quarterback. And it's the team, that defense really came on against the Lions. Like that Vikings defense woke up. So if that's the trend, I'd have to say their vibes are good because even if they don't make the playoffs, as long as they think that JJ McCarthy could be their guy, then that's good. That's good. And then in 22, this is late edition because we just got the news that they're going with Jakobi Brissett. So the Cardinals, bad team, but right now the vibes are good because Jakobi Brissett helped lead the team to a win against the Cowboys on Monday Night Football, and most importantly, Marvin Harrison was activated. Marvin Harrison came on and showed that, like, hey, look,
that's just 96 yards in the touchdown.
So it's, I think there's a lot to be hopeful for with the Cardinals, even though they are overall still like not. I still think like there's things to be happy about. So those are the 3 teams I have in tier 4. Pete, bad teams, good vibes.
Bad teams, good vibes. So hopeful teams, right? Teams that have things they can look forward to. How you had this list and you did not have the New York Giants in this list, regardless of injuries. When Scatterbo and Neighbors comes back.
Because no, because they're not coming back this year. I put them in my wait.
But because the vibe is optimism going into the
offseason. Right? No, but this is for the rest of the year. Tier 6 is mock draft time, meaning these teams are looking forward to the draft. Their season's done. So I didn't have the Giants here because I think with Neighbors and Scatterbo gone, like they're not making any noise this year.
Okay.
But they're right at the top. They're the first team I have for the last year mock draft time because I think they are going to really have a lot to look forward to with the draft and going into next season. But like I'm probably going to agree with everything you say, but I think the semantics say like this is why they're not, because there's no hope for this season anymore. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. I'm gonna say I have 3 that I'm looking at right now. Then bad teams, good vibes. I would agree with you on Arizona. I go the Jekyll and Hyde team, the Falcons, and it seems weird to say because they may have a long shot to make it, but I'm gonna put the Bengals in that tier too because the offense is so good. Listen, man, I don't know why Joe Flacco looks. He's inevitable. Like he goes through this stretch where he's going to have 6 or 7 games. And that game last Sunday against the Bears was a very winnable game. And trust me, if they had won that game, and there's 4 or 5 looks a lot different than 3 and 6. A lot different than 3 and 6.
It does, but they are 3 and 6, and so like that's what I'm saying. Like you're looking at it from a glass half full. Mm-hmm. So let's dive into the Bengals because I have them at tier 5. I have them as bad teams, bad vibes. So while you're looking at a glass half full, I'm looking at a glass half empty because their offense now has woken up, but now their defense is so catastrophically bad that they're back to where they were last year, where they can't win games because of their defense. And where do they go from here? Like it's the way they constructed this roster, it doesn't make sense. So Brinks, what do you think? You be the tiebreaker, Brinks. The Bengals.
What? The Bengals? They're my only team in bad vibes.
Yeah, so you agree with me. So yeah.
Is that more so because of the injury to Burrow?
They're just a bad franchise, Pete. Like okay. I don't know, like they fired the defensive coordinator thinking that was going to fix everything. And Amarillo, he's with the Colts now, correct?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're looking pretty good on defense. So it wasn't that. They take this guy, Shamar Stewart, in the first round of the draft thinking that they're going to get a stud, and he's on his ass all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and he's hurt. Didn't he get hurt?
I think he's hurt and he held out. He's a distraction off the field.
Held out. He's hurt. He's ineffective. Whatever. It's just not. It wasn't a good draft pick so far.
Mm-hmm.
And like now you're getting it in the offense is being like, well, what do you mean? We hung half 100 up and we lost. What are you guys doing? So now the second the defense starts clicking and the offense sputters, then the defense is going to be like, it's just not. It's not good.
I agree.
It's not good. The only reason they're not looking for the mock draft portion of these power rankings is because they are talented.
Yeah. I hear you on that. And I wanted to put them in bad vibes because it's just like the vibes are just bad. Vibes are just bad. But Pete, do you have anything else? Any other teams for tier 4? No. All right. Brinks tier 4. Bad teams, good vibes.
I have 2 teams. It's the Falcons and the Cardinals. 22 Falcons, 23 Cardinals. I mean,
Falcons, Cardinals. Okay, yeah. So we agree on the Cardinals.
Yeah, the Falcons, they should be better, I guess. But it's just like it's top. Like you have Bijan and Drake London who are great, but Penix hasn't really gotten the jump. I mean, they lost 30-0 to the Panthers. And then they beat the Bills.
You beat the Bills. Like
smoke the Bills.
Yes.
Smoke the Bills.
Yeah.
So like I guess you can be like, okay, maybe we can make a run, but I don't see it happening. But it's tough.
It's so weird. They are.
I don't know. Maybe they need a change, and then maybe they need an offensive guy as a head coach to get over the top.
What's troubling about them was
the
win against the Bills Monday night, and then you play Sunday night against the Niners, and you use 10 points. Like the inefficiency at times to move the ball and what they're doing on offense, it just boggles my mind.
Yeah.
And then Arizona is a quarterback short from being a really good team. And everyone hated Jonathan Gannon here in Philadelphia because of that Super Bowl, and myself included. But he's doing a good job in Arizona.
I think he's doing. I don't know if I'd go so far as say good, but he's doing a better job than I think we all expected. And it's not bad.
I mean, he has a quarterback making a lot of money who.
That's fair, and that's completely fair. That's completely fair. I think it's frustrating because with the Cardinals, it's like they have talent. Like look at the pieces like Walter Nolan, Will Johnson at cornerback. Like they got Josh Sweat and they have Marvin Harrison Jr. Like they have talent on that roster. I think with the Cardinals, it's been so frustrating because they haven't seemed to put it together consistently. You know what I mean? Like they're far from a bad team, but they haven't taken that next step to be like a really good team. And Brinks, maybe you're right. Maybe it's because of the quarterback and holding that. So like that could be the thing. So that's kind of why I put them here because like they are middle of the road. But I think right now, they're on the up. Like, there's stuff to be happy about. So yeah, tier 5. So bad teams, bad vibes. Brinks, let's start with you here.
The only team I listed here was the
Bengals. You said right, yeah, Bengals.
Yeah.
Okay. Pete.
Bad teams, bad vibes. I would say Washington. That's my only team.
That's your only team. Okay, so I mentioned I had the Bengals. I do have Washington, and I just don't know how you guys don't have the Cowboys on here. There's like, let's start with them. Yeah, the record kind of says like they could be wild card hopeful, but I cannot put them as that. They are a bad team, guys. Like they got Quinnen Williams. Sure. Is that going to fix the defense to where the defense can help them be a wild card team? I don't think so.
Mom, can you let him out?
Huh? Oh, you're talking about sorry. But yeah, the Cowboys, they're a bad team. And if the offense sputters even just a little bit, we saw this against the Cardinals. if it sputters just for 1 or 2 drives, the whole thing falls apart. The whole thing falls apart. And it's bad team, bad vibes because, again, we talked about the Quinnen Williams trade. Cool. You traded for Quinnen Williams. What was the point in trading away Michael Parsons? Like, what was the point? And does anyone really believe in their head coach? Probably not. Like, they have an explosive offense, a dangerous offense, but it's not perfect. It's not, they have their flaws. And the defense, it could be in talks to be the worst defense in the league with the Bengals. That's how bad they are. So I put them, they are 25 for me. They had bad teams, bad vibes. Like, I have the Bengals, Commanders, then Cowboys. So, like, let's talk about the Commanders now. Bad team, bad vibe. Washington. Bad team because I think we all kind of saw this, right? Mm-hmm. Leaning on older players going into the season to contribute. That's not working out good. Why they have bad vibes? Because their second-year quarterback just got hurt, and who wasn't even playing to the level he was last year. Right. And the team bought so much into this season to try to make something, and it just didn't. It was a catastrophic failure. Catastrophic. Like, I don't think they win. I think that at most they win 2 more games the rest of the year. So I agree with you, Pete. I have the Commanders absolutely in this tier. But yeah, like Cowboys, Commanders. Give your thoughts on either or.
The Cowboys is just, they can catch lightning in the bottle, man. They can put up 40. Too much talent on that offense, and then if the defense can just get one more stop a game, they can pretty much outscore everybody else. And I think the key to their offensive success this year has been their ability to run the ball. Javonte Williams and being able to run the ball, be patient, moving on the ground, Pickens and Lamb. Dak really doesn't. I mean, he has these stretches where he goes interception happy, but it hasn't happened yet. But the Commanders is just it's like I'm watching the RG3 sophomore season all over again, bro.
Oh my God.
And it sucks to say, but they went into the offseason. They didn't do enough. They didn't get young enough. I would have brought back Zacchaeus. You can see what Zacchaeus is doing in Chicago just to keep some youth on the team. And you can't base your depth off of top talent and then hoping to stay healthy, because then you're just ill prepared. You're just ill prepared, and you see it. You see it. It's rearing its ugly head, and this kind of feel for him. Nobody like that. Going into that locker room after the game Sunday, showing up today, the vibe in there has to be bad, because it's like, what? Why us? Why does this happen to us? Why does this happen to my quarterback? I mean, and it's a freak thing too, man. Like, it's just so bad. So you know what I mean?
How much do you put on Dan Quinn for keeping him in there? I think that was really bad.
Definitely deserves part of that blame, because at that point in the game, what was it? 38
something or something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
There was no need. You know, I mean, you don't want to ever just throw in the towel. You want to have a mercy rule as in the NFL, but this is the other side of that coin.
It is. Yeah. It is. Riggs, where did you have Washington? Are they in your next tier?
They're mock drafting it.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So, did you want? I mean, you can tell down now. Did you have anything to add for the Washington conversation?
No, I mean, I had a miss in the playoffs, so from the jump. I mean, kind of got lucky, kind of caught lightning in the bottle to get to the NFC Championship last year, and then they let up 55 to the Eagles at Lincoln Financial Field in the big spot. And then I wasn't a fan of many of their offseason moves, and now Jaden Daniels is hurt.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're looking at next year. They got the Lions this week. They still got the Eagles twice.
Yep. End of the year.
They still got to play Kansas City.
No, they played Kansas City.
You're right. Did they play Denver yet? They didn't play Denver yet.
No, they didn't play Denver yet.
That's another loss. especially if Mariota's in there. I mean,
I don't think they play. I don't think they've played. Did they play?
They have to play Miami in London. Is it London or an international game they have coming up?
They might win that one. Because,
they might win that one, yeah. And then they might win against the Giants. You know what I mean? So like I think those are the two games. They might split it with the Giants. So yeah, it's bad. It's bad. So talk about bad. Let's go to our final tier. And I think like I didn't really have like an order because this is all just jumbled up. I guess. Well, I have the top team here for my for this last year is the Giants because again I think they have a lot to look forward to, but like their season's just done. So it's the Giants, obviously the Dolphins, the Raiders, Browns, Saints, Jets, Titans. Those are my 7. Pete, I'm assuming you have everyone. I don't know. Yeah. Brinks.
I have 8 of them. I got 25 Raiders, 26 Commanders. This is a very haphazard order.
Yeah. It's a lot.
The Giants, I have the Giants at 27. They are by far the worst coach team in the league. They're the worst managed team in the league. Joe Shane stinks. Brian Dable stinks. Their defense shouldn't be bad.
No. We talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
They're not just bad, they're horrendous on defense. Like is Brian Burns still leading the league in sacks?
I don't know.
I think so.
He's up there. If he's not, he's up there. They're horrendous. 28, I have the Saints. I guess there's a little hope there because you got a coach and they try. They get first downs and score touchdowns sometimes, as do the Giants.
Brother was playing well at some point, but they benched him.
29, I have the Browns. 30, I have the Titans. Even though the Jets traded all their players today, I still have them 31st. And then there's 15 feet of shit, and then the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins have a bad owner. They have a bad coach. A bad quarterback. Not much talent.
Oh my god.
Bad in the trenches. They are the worst.
It's bad.
Are the worst team in the league.
100%.
Yeah.
How Mike McDaniel still has a job?
That's questionable.
They probably said they're keeping him through the season.
Yeah, they said they're keeping him.
They said that. I predicted on this show before the season that he would be the first head coach fired. And
I think he should be. I don't understand how you fire GM.
Yep.
But then you keep the head coach. For what?
Bad owner. You don't want to eat that much money. You're a bad owner.
So crazy. It's crazy.
And not only that, they have the Brian Flores lawsuit thing. Yeah. They have that hanging over their head as well.
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek Hill is out. I mean, I forget what exactly he did to himself, but he's out for the season.
Yeah.
And it was definitely a leg injury, and his whole game is predicated on speed, so that's no good. I don't know why you don't pull the trigger on Jalen Waddle at the deadline.
Yep.
For who, for what, to have him. That doesn't matter. Let Malik Washington and practice squad guys play. They're so bad. They're so they have no skill. They have no talent. They have no work ethic. They have no culture. They have no shot. None.
Yeah. You have to be, if you're Jaelen Phillips, you have to be so happy you're out of there.
Yep.
So happy you're out of there. So yeah. I think I said who I had last year. Any final thoughts overall for the power rankings, the league going forward as we head into the second half?
So much parity in the league this year.
There is, yeah. There is.
And I feel the league messed up because the Birds couldn't get it together and just playing with their B game, and they still 4 games above 500, and it looks like they're starting to put it together. So, because if everything is everything, right? I know Brink said that Denver's number 1, like he has Denver number 1, but if both teams are playing at the optimal best, I mean, I don't know what team in the league beats this team. I don't.
Yeah, that's why I have them on 1, because right now, like everyone, you said it well. They had their chance.
Yeah.
Eagles figured it out.
Especially in the NFC.
Yeah.
The door was wide open.
Eagles figured it out, and the teams this past week they lost. This is why I said at the top of the show, this might have been the best bye week a team has ever had. You see the rest of the division lose, and then the other two top teams in the conference lose.
And honestly, this time next week, they can really put a stamp on this. If they really want to put a proverbial, hey, like we're the defending Super Bowl champions, this is still our yard. These next two games within the next 13 days.
Oh yeah.
If they go 2-0 in those games, yeah.
Packers Lions, because those are the
they're gonna start 1-0.
Yeah.
The Brinkman guarantee on that.
I don't see
1,000% beating the Packers.
Yeah. I think the Packers are spiraling without Tucker Kraft. So
100%. I chose the Eagles and the Ravens to be my Super Bowl, and I'm going to stick with it.
Okay. Oh, okay. I like it. I'm going
to stick with it.
I like it. I like it. What's the Ravens record? Ravens.
I think they're 3-5. 3-5. They beat the Bears. They were 1-5. They came back from the bye. Lamar sat. They beat the Bears, and then they demolished the Dolphins to get to 3-5.
Okay, so there's 2 games.
Pittsburgh's not running away with that division. That they're only 2 games out.
There's only 2 games out, and they didn't.
And they have not. They haven't played the Steelers. They have not played the Steelers.
So they have. Yeah, they have the 2 games. So now, it's like almost like a guarantee every year that they split. Like for some reason, the Steelers always win a game against the Ravens. Mm-hmm. Who knows? But like they have the opportunity. The Ravens have an opportunity to catch them. So yeah, 100%. The Ravens could make noise. Yeah, I think that's it. I said for my last thing, I said that I'm disappointed Breece Hall wasn't moved. I'm also disappointed that no running backs were moved at the deadline. Please trade a running back already. Get one of these guys who are like buried on the depth chart. Get them a chance somewhere else.
And I think that's the key. If the Pats, it would have been tough, but if the Pats would have found a way to get Breece Hall, I think that definitely closed that gap between them and the Bills.
And Breece Hall with the Pats, they could have gone to the Chiefs. The Chiefs could have used a running back. Like
Denver could have used Jaelen Waddle.
Well, I had said this because I saw that rumor that like he was he could be a trade candidate for the Broncos, and I'm just like, okay, so you want another weapon, another deep weapon for Bo Nix to miss completely.
Well, I mean, but that's what you put Waddle on crossers. I mean, I agree with you.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know if it's Nix because he doesn't have the arm talent or he doesn't have the confidence to let it go, but yeah.
It's so bad. Look up the stats on his deep passes. Yeah. He is horrific on deep throws. So, yeah. Well, gentlemen, that was a loaded episode of Filmed Online. We were almost at like an hour 38. Well, we are at an hour 38, but talked about a lot, covered a lot. Brinks, appreciate you coming on with us and giving your insight on the trade deadline and power ranking these teams and seeing where we disagree. For the most part, we agreed on most things. There were only like a few
two were pretty much.
I think the Broncos were one that we didn't agree on. I think the Cowboys, but like we had them in like 2 separate tiers, but like, I think we kind of were all on the same page in terms of context. But yeah, I think we were all, for the most part, we were in agreement on the tier. So good stuff. For all of you who are still listening to the episode, we appreciate you tuning in. Again, thank you to our sponsor, Alonzi Travel. If you're planning a vacation, reach out to me. My email is on the bottom, charles@alonzi-travel.com. For myself, for Pete Evans, for Brinks, for the rest of us at ATD Radio. Catch the rest of the shows for the rest of the week. And until next week, we'll see you same time, same place. And go Birds. Peace.